Imagine the scene. It is Monday morning. You are walking into your office, or maybe you are meeting a friend for coffee. You feel ready. You feel prepared. You have your coffee in your hand. You are feeling good about the week ahead. But then you see a colleague walking toward you. They smile, they wave, and then they ask the question that you know is coming, but you still fear it. They ask, "So, how was your weekend?"
It seems like such a simple question, doesn't it? It is just 5 words. How was your weekend? But for English learners, especially if you are at an A2 or B1 level, this question can feel like a test that you haven't studied for. You understand every word. You know what weekend means. You know what how means. But your brain freezes. You suddenly forget everything you did for the last 48 hours. You panic. And what do you say?
Usually you say one word. You say good, or maybe fine, and then you stop. The conversation dies right there. There is an awkward silence. Your colleague waits for more, but you don't say more, so they just nod and walk away. And you feel frustrated. You feel like you missed an opportunity to connect. You feel like your English is stuck inside your head and it refuses to come out of your mouth.
If that sounds familiar to you, do not worry. You are definitely not alone. This happens to almost every language learner. We call it the small talk freeze. You have the passive vocabulary to understand complex stories. Maybe you can even watch movies in English. But when it comes to active speaking about your own life, the connection breaks. Today, here on Talk About It in English, we are going to fix that. We are going to stop the freeze.
Exactly. We are not just going to give you a list of random words to memorize. We are going to give you a structure, a mental framework. Think of it like a recipe. When you have a recipe, you don't have to guess what ingredients to put in the pan. You just follow the steps. We have a 3-step formula that will help you answer "How was your weekend?" instantly, fluently, and naturally. By the end of this episode, you won't just say good. You will be able to tell a mini story that makes you sound interesting and confident.
That is the goal. We want you to speak about your real life. So, Sarah, let's talk about why we freeze. Why is this specific question so hard? I think part of the problem is that we try to translate everything we did. We think we need to give a full report. We think we need to say, first I woke up, then I brushed my teeth, then I ate toast, then I watched TV.
You are absolutely right, Mark. We fall into what I call the list trap. We treat the question like a police interrogation. We list facts. I did this, I did that, I went there. The problem with lists is that they're boring. They're robotic. Native speakers don't speak in lists. When we ask, "How was your weekend?" we aren't actually asking for a schedule. We are asking for a feeling. We want to know how you felt about your time off. We want to connect with you emotionally, not just logically.
That is a very important distinction. We want connection, not just information. So if you just list your activities, you are giving information, but you are not offering connection. And that is why the conversation feels awkward. The other person doesn't know how to react to a list of facts. But if you share how you felt, they can relate to you.
So let's introduce the solution. The solution is a simple pattern. We call it the O.A.D method. That is O.A.D. It stands for opinion, activity, detail. 3 sentences. That's all you need. If you can put these 3 sentences together, you will never freeze again.
Opinion, activity, detail. I like that. It sounds easy to remember. O.A.D. Let's break it down. What do we mean by the first letter, O? What is the opinion?
The opinion is your opening line. It is the summary of your weekend in one adjective. Instead of starting with what you did, start with how it was. This sets the tone. It tells the listener immediately if you had a good time, a bad time, or a busy time. It creates a frame for the picture you are about to paint.
This is a great tip because it buys you time. If someone asks, "How was your weekend?" and you immediately have to think of the English verb for hiking or grocery shopping, you might stumble. But if you have a few opinion words ready to go, you can start speaking immediately while your brain searches for the activity words.
Exactly. It creates a buffer. So let's look at some better words than good. Good is the enemy of conversation. It is too vague. Let's upgrade your vocabulary right now. If your weekend was restful, if you slept a lot and didn't do much work, what can you say instead of good?
You could say, it was relaxing. That is a classic. It was relaxing. Or if you want to sound even more natural, you could say, it was really chill. Chill is a very common word in spoken English. It means relaxed, low stress, easy. It was pretty chill.
Chill is a great word for our B1 learners to start using. It sounds very native. What if your weekend was the opposite? What if you had a lot of errands, you cleaned the house, you visited family, and you didn't stop moving? You can't say it was relaxing.
No, that would be a lie. In that case, you could say it was busy, but busy can sound a little negative sometimes. A better word might be productive. It was productive. This means you did a lot of useful things. You feel good about what you accomplished. Or if it was busy but in a chaotic, tiring way, you might say it was hectic.
Hectic is a fantastic word. Hectic. It means very busy, fast-paced, maybe a little crazy. It was totally hectic. Using a word like that immediately makes you sound more advanced than someone who just says it was busy.
And what if it was just amazing? You went on a trip or you saw a great concert. You want to show high energy.
Then use strong adjectives. It was incredible. It was wonderful. It was great. Even great is better than good because it has more energy. So step 1 of the O.A.D method is to choose your opinion word. Don't tell me what you did yet. Just tell me how it was. It was relaxing. It was productive. It was quiet.
Okay, so we have our O. We have our opinion. We have started the conversation. We have broken the silence. Now we need to move to A, the activity. This is where you tell the listener what you actually did. But Sarah, didn't we just say that we shouldn't list our activities?
We did say that, and this is where most learners get stuck. They try to tell the listener everything they did. I cleaned the house, and then I went to the supermarket, and then I cooked dinner, and then I called my mother. That is too much. The secret to the activity step is to choose one main thing, just one. We call it the headline event.
The headline event, like the headline of a newspaper, the most important story.
Exactly. Even if you did 10 things this weekend, just pick the most interesting one or the one that took the most time. This keeps your answer short and focused. And grammatically, this is where we need to be careful with our verb tenses. We are talking about the past. The weekend is over, so we must use the past simple.
This is a great opportunity to review those irregular verbs. We often hear students say, I go to the park when talking about yesterday, but we need to say, I went to the park. Or I see a movie becomes I saw a movie.
Let's practice a few common ones. If your headline event was meeting a friend, you say, I met up with a friend. Met up is a lovely phrasal verb for meeting socially. If your headline event was staying home, you say, I stayed in. Stayed in is better than stayed at my house. It implies you chose to be comfortable at home.
And if you did some chores, like cleaning or laundry,
You can say, I caught up on some chores. Caught up on. That is a great phrase. It implies you were behind and now you are back on schedule. I caught up on some housework.
so the activity sentence connects directly to your opinion sentence. If your opinion was, it was relaxing, your activity should match that. For example, it was relaxing. I just stayed in and watched movies. See how they fit together?
Perfect. Or if your opinion was, it was productive, your activity could be, I caught up on a lot of housework. The opinion sets the stage and the activity gives the proof. You are proving why it was relaxing or why it was productive.
Okay, we have the opinion, we have the activity. Now we need the D, the detail. Why do we need a detail? Isn't 2 sentences enough? It was relaxing, I watched TV. That seems complete.
It is grammatically complete, yes, but conversationally, it is a little flat. It lacks color. The detail is the little extra piece of information that makes your story unique. It is the hook that allows the other person to ask a follow-up question. The detail turns a black and white photo into a color photo.
I like that analogy. So the detail isn't a new activity. It is more information about the activity you just mentioned.
Precisely. You are zooming in. If your activity was, I went to that new Italian restaurant, your detail could be about the food. The pasta was delicious. If your activity was, I went for a hike, your detail could be about the weather. The weather was perfect for it. If your activity was, I saw a movie, your detail could be your opinion of the movie. It was actually really funny.
So the pattern is, how was it? What did you do? And a specific comment about that thing.
Yes. Let's put it all together and see how it sounds. Mark, ask me about my weekend. Let's try to simulate a real conversation.
Okay, Sarah, so how was your weekend?
It was really low-key. I mostly just read a book that I've been wanting to finish. It was exactly what I needed after a long week.
That sounded so natural. Let's break that down. Your opinion was, it was really low-key. Low-key is another great synonym for relaxing or quiet. Your activity was, I mostly just read a book. And your detail was, it was exactly what I needed.
Right. And notice I didn't say, I read a book, then I ate dinner, then I slept. I just focused on the book. That was my highlight. Now, Mark, let me ask you, try to use the O.A.D method. How was your weekend?
It was great, actually. I went out to the coast with some friends. The ocean air was so refreshing.
Perfect. Opinion, it was great. Activity, went to the coast. Detail, the ocean air was refreshing. As a listener, now I have so many things I can ask you. I can ask, which beach did you go to? Or who did you go with? You have given me material to continue the conversation.
That is the key. You are helping the other person. When you give a one-word answer like good, you are forcing the other person to do all the work. But when you use O.A.D, you are giving them gifts. You are giving them topics to talk about. It makes you a better conversationalist.
Before we move on to practicing this together, I want to address a common fear. What if your weekend was boring? Many students tell me, Sarah, I don't have anything to say because I didn't do anything interesting. I just slept. And they feel embarrassed to say that in English.
That is a very common feeling. We think we need to have exciting lives to speak English, but that is not true. You can talk about a boring weekend in an interesting way using this same framework. You just need to frame it correctly.
Exactly. If you did nothing, own it. Make doing nothing your activity. Here is how you do it. Opinion. It was very quiet. Activity. I honestly didn't do much at all. Detail. It was nice to just turn off my brain for a while.
Turn off my brain. I love that phrase. It is very idiomatic. It means to stop thinking about work or stress. By saying that, you turn a boring weekend into a necessary recovery weekend. You sound mature and self-aware, not boring.
Or you could say, it was pretty uneventful. I just stayed around the house, but I finally got some sleep. See, uneventful is a great vocabulary word. It means nothing special happened, but it is not a negative word. It is just a fact.
So there is no excuse to freeze, even if you stayed in bed all Sunday. You have the structure. Now I think it is time for our listeners to try this. We are going to do a little shadowing practice.
Yes, shadowing is a technique where you repeat after us, trying to match our speed, our rhythm, and our intonation. We are going to give you 3 different scenarios. We will say the full O.A.D answer, and then we will pause so you can say it out loud. And yes, you should actually speak out loud, wherever you are. On the bus, in your car, in your kitchen. Speaking activates the muscles in your mouth. Listening is not enough.
Scenario number 1, the relaxing weekend. Imagine you stayed home and watched Netflix. I will say the 3 sentences. Listen first, then repeat during the pause. It was really chilling. I binged a new series on Netflix. The storyline was so addictive. Now you try.
It was really chilling. I binged a new series on Netflix. The storyline was so addictive.
Great. Did you notice the verb binged? To binge means to watch many episodes one after another. I binged a series. That is very natural English.
Scenario number 2, the social weekend. Imagine you went to a party or a dinner. Listen to the rhythm. It was lots of fun. We had a barbecue in the backyard. The weather couldn't have been better. Your turn. Repeat it.
It was lots of fun. We had a barbecue in the backyard. The weather couldn't have been better.
Excellent. That phrase, couldn't have been better, is a beautiful way to say the weather was perfect. It is a fixed phrase, or a chunk. Learn it as one sound. The weather couldn't have been better.
Scenario number 3, the busy weekend. Maybe you had work or family obligations. Listen closely. It was pretty hectic, to be honest. I had to help my sister move apartments. I'm completely exhausted today. Now you say it.
It was pretty hectic, to be honest. I had to help my sister move apartments. I'm completely exhausted today.
Notice the phrase to be honest in the first sentence. It was pretty hectic, to be honest. This is a filler phrase that makes you sound very authentic. It signals that you are telling the truth about your feelings. It softens the negative word hectic.
These patterns are your tools. You can mix and match them. You can change the activity, change the detail, but keep the structure. Opinion, activity, detail. If you use this structure, you will never get lost in your own sentence. You will always know where you are going.
Now, There is one final piece to this puzzle. We have built a great answer. You have said your 3 sentences. You feel proud. But the conversation isn't over. The ball is now in your court. Do you know that tennis expression? The ball is in your court. It means it is your turn to act. If you just stop talking after your detail, there might still be an awkward silence.
That is right. You need to pass the ball back. Conversation is like a game of catch. You catch the ball, you hold it for a moment, that is your answer, and then you throw it back. If you hold the ball forever, the game stops. If you drop the ball, the game stops. You must throw it back.
And the easiest, most natural way to throw the ball back is a simple 3-word question. How about you?
How about you? It is magic. It saves you. As soon as you finish your detail, you immediately say, how about you? Or what about you? Did you do anything nice?
This signals that you are interested in the other person. It takes the spotlight off of you. If you are nervous about speaking English, this is the best thing you can do. Get the other person talking. People love talking about themselves. So answer quickly using O.A.D. and then flip the question back to them.
Let's practice that transition. I will give you an answer, and I want you to imagine I am talking to you. When I finish, I want you to imagine saying, how about you? Ready? It was nice. I went for a long run on Sunday morning. It felt good to be outside. How about you?
See how smooth that is? It felt good to be outside. How about you? It flows perfectly. There is no gap, no silence, no panic.
And there is one more variation of the bounce back. Sometimes, instead of asking, how about you, you can ask a specific question if you know something about their life. For example, if you know your colleague plays soccer, you can say, it was relaxing. I just stayed in. But hey, how was your soccer game?
That is advanced level social skills. That shows you remember details about them. That builds relationships. But if you don't remember, or if you don't know them well, how about you works 100% of the time. It is never wrong.
We have covered a lot today. We talked about why we freeze, the fear of judgment, and the list trap. We talked about the O.A.D framework, opinion, activity, detail. We learned vocabulary for different types of weekends, chill, productive, hectic, uneventful. We practiced the past simple tense for activities, and we learned the bounce back technique to keep the conversation flowing.
It sounds like a lot, but remember, it is just a habit. You have to build it. You have to train your brain to think in this pattern. Next time someone asks you about your day or your weekend, catch yourself before you say good. Stop. Take a breath. Think opinion, activity, detail.
It might feel slow the first time you do it. You might have to think for a second. That's okay. Silence for 1 second while you think is better than a 1-word answer that kills the chat. It was interesting. I went to a museum. The art was weird. That is a victory. That is a success.
And remember, you don't have to wait for Monday to practice this. You can practice this by yourself right now. Look at your life. Look at yesterday. How was your day yesterday? Use O.A.D. Talk to your mirror. Talk to your dog. Talk to your shower wall. It was tiring. I worked late on a project, but I got a lot done. Get your mouth used to making these shapes.
This is what this channel is all about. We want to move you from passive understanding to active speaking. You know these words. You know busy. You know went. You know watched. You just need to organize them. The O.A.D method is your organizer.
If you found this structure helpful, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are going to be breaking down other topics just like this: how to talk about your job, how to talk about your future plans, how to describe a health problem to a doctor. We take these real-life moments and we give you the script.
And speaking of scripts, we want to give you a challenge. We want to see your O.A.D in action. We want you to go to the comment section right now. Yes, pause the video if you need to. We want you to write 3 sentences about your real last weekend. Not a made-up one, your real one.
Start with your opinion word, then tell us your headline activity, then give us 1 detail. And don't forget to check your verb tenses. If you write it down, it helps seal it in your memory. We will be reading the comments and giving you feedback on your structure.
It is a small step, but writing it is the first step to speaking it. If you can write it today, you can speak it tomorrow.
Let's do a quick recap of the key vocabulary we learned today before we go.
Opinion words: relaxing, chill, busy, productive, hectic, uneventful.
Activity phrases:
Met up with friends, not met friends, stayed in, not stayed home, caught up on chores, binged a series, went out to eat.
And detail connectors. It was exactly what I needed. The weather couldn't have been better.
It was actually really fun. To be honest, I'm exhausted.
Keep these phrases in your pocket. Write them on a sticky note and put it on your computer monitor at work. Monday morning is coming. Be ready for it.
You don't have to be afraid of small talk. Small talk is just the doorway to big talk. It is how we start relationships. And with O.A.D, you have the key to open that door.
Thank you so much for listening to Talk About It in English. Remember, language is a muscle. You have to use it to strengthen it. Don't just listen to us. Speak, repeat, shadow, and most importantly, try. Even if you make a mistake, you are communicating, and communication is the goal.
We will see you in the next episode, where we will help you tackle another part of your daily life in English. Until then, have a productive week, or a chill week, or maybe even a hectic but exciting week.
And tell us all about it using O.A.D. Bye for now.
See you next time.